Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
And they showed me a X-ray. He said a 22 caliber bullet will lodge in a lung, and we can probably get it out, may be able to get it and save the life. A 9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body. So the idea of these high-caliber weapons is just there's simply no rational basis for it in terms of about self-protection, hunting. And remember, the Constitution, the Second Amendment, was never absolute.
That's right, America. That guy's a dumbass, and I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about mass shootings, whether or not there is if there is an actual gun epidemic, and just looking at why these things are happening, what we can do to prevent it, and possibly what two average Joes think the root cause might actually be. Kevin.
Yes,
Do you think that the United States has a gun epidemic? Like guns are going out and murdering people?
No, I don't think guns actually go out and murder people. I'm pretty sure it's people that murder people. If I was a, maybe some kind of smart person and I could invent a gun that could walk on its own and shoot somebody. But I'm not a smart person and I can't do that. So guns are just, laying there, not murdering people. It's people who are murdering people. If we have any kind of epidemic, it's a mental health epidemic. It's pretty much, because I think all these mass shootings are, contributed to two factors. One factor is, these people are mentally, not right. Well, screw loose is what they used to say. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Not the brightest bulb. I don't know. All those things, bats in the belfry, Is that what it was? Belfry? Is that? Bell tower? Is it bell tower? Or belfry?
I think it's belfry.
I think so too, right? Okay, so all that stuff. So, and also I don't know where I was going with this. All right. Well, there's two things. And I think the publicity that people get for doing this kind of horrendous, heinous, this sadistic shit, I think that's also a contributing factor. I think if more places would not post pictures and say the names of the people who do this shit, if they just called them Pansy McSmallpenis, that would probably deter people from wanting to do it. Like just put his picture up and put like Pansy McSmallpenis shot a school up, or Dickless, Micro Dick Steve. I don't know. Something like that, Stuff like that. I think that would help, actually.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the times they are doing it for fame, it seems like, because really we didn't have at least school shootings up until, what was it, Columbine? I think was the first one.
Well, that's when
we were in school.
Yeah, I think that was was that the
right?
First one?
I thought that was the first one.
I think that was the biggest one. I think there's always been,
No, there's always been shootings, but like when you were saying, like
shooting.
But mass shootings happens every day in Chicago.
Yeah, well, I think
because it's 4 people or more. But when you were talking about mental health, now granted, a lot of these people are a little touched, but it wasn't a mass shooting, but technically the Unabomber was a genius, an actual genius. But you do have to have something wrong with you and something sadistic when it comes to mass shootings are bad in general. When your ass goes and tries or does shoot up a school, you're a special kind of piece of shit to do that, because I mean, granted, they're soft targets because they're gun-free zones, which we'll get into later on why that's a stupid ass idea. But yeah, I mean that's a special kind of crazy. Well, okay, so why do we have so many mass shootings anyway? I mean, it does seem like there's been a lot.
I think, like I said, I think there's mass shootings almost daily. Like you said, it's just the ones that you hear about are, I don't want to say politically pushed, but they're the ones. Obviously, schools shootings are always going to get a little more coverage than you know, uh, the bad part of Chicago where 4 people got killed. Obviously, and you can blame the media for that, but it's what it is. And I don't know if I don't know why they're happening. I think, like I said, I think it's just mental health and people trying to get famous is a big one, and the media pushing a narrative is why we're hearing about them. Because I hear about, you don't really hear about the one in Florida where, an Asian guy killed.
That was actually a Chinese
people.
guy who shot up a bunch of Taiwanese people
Yeah.
because Chinese people don't like Taiwanese people. So that was
Well,
100% a race, like a hate crime.
yeah.
But they can't talk bad about that because can't talk bad about China or anything that Chinese people do.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
technically, but I mean, it really is the mainstream media that pushes it though, because social media has gotten pretty good about like hunting the videos down and getting them removed. I mean, you can't get all of them, but like they're up for a little bit, then they get taken down. Where it's really the mainstream media, like the old school media, that constantly pushes this stuff, and uh, then just jumps right on it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why there's so many more now. You can see though, there's a definite, like I said, there has been mass shootings, like crazy people, like the guy. I forgot what college it was, but that dude who got up on top of a building at a college with a rifle and just started shooting people. But there's definitely been an uptick, and it kind of correlates when the internet came around. If you look at the numbers and when it started ticking up, try it around where the internet happens, and there's something going on. I don't know what it is, but it's not normal to be okay with going out and shooting a bunch of people or resulting to that as a way to deal with whatever you're dealing with. Like all these people obviously have problems. The kid in Uvalde or something like that. The kid in Texas, yeah, he had a lisp and he was made fun of and got bullied, but like, so you get bullied and your response to that is to buy $4,000 worth of guns and ammo and go shoot up my elementary school. That doesn't make any sense. Like, there's something going on that's causing these. Like, do you think it's bullying that causes these mass shootings to happen? Like, do you think that, like, what's making that click in their brain? Like, what do you think? I mean, just when you think about this stuff that makes them think, like, yeah, this is what I need to do. Do you think it's just they want to be famous and they're actually kind of losers in life and they don't have anything going for them? So, like, oh, I'll make a name for myself being a mass shooter, which really, if you think about it, if you do that, you're in the news for like a couple weeks and then nobody remembers who the hell you are. So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think, it's hard to get in the mind of a madman, Um, obviously because I don't feel like I'm that fucking crazy. So, but who knows what the hell they're thinking? I still think it's because of fame or whatever. I mean, or you're just a sick individual. This dude in Uvalde, I mean, he was the one that, there were signs that he was disturbed. He had a photo of him like 2 dead cats in a bag. He was, his friend said, he's dressing weird and, he's talking about his guns and, You know, he just bought two. Who we'll get into the guns later, but
Oh, I got my own
you know,
questions about that.
I mean, we can bring it up now if you want.
No, we'll roll into it.
What did he buy? He bought. Okay, but I don't know what causes it. I don't know what a person is thinking. I couldn't even fathom trying to go into an elementary school and shooting up a bunch of kids. Like, I couldn't even fathom it. Like, it. I think I'd rather, if I'm that sick, I think I'd rather just take myself out. Like, who the hell is going to take out a kid with his whole life ahead of him? If you're that fucked up, then take yourself out because you're a piece of shit. So, I don't condone suicide, but if you're going to fucking between you and shoot some kids, point that trigger at your fucking head. Take yourself out. You're a piece of shit.
I'm not exactly sure what pointing the trigger at yourself would do, but I would suggest.
Or pointing the gun at yourself. Sorry. Well, if I guess triggered point at you. You know what? Shoot yourself in like the arm or something. You know, maybe you need that pain to come to clarity. I don't know.
I know that all of these shooters so far have had and I'm not a proponent of red flag laws because people, like, if they're mad at you, I don't like red flag laws, period. If someone's doing something crazy or being weird or, showing the signs that we do now know what to look for, then yeah, you should tell somebody and that person should be evaluated. But I don't agree with, like, I guess some of the red flag laws are like, if somebody reports you to be violent or, like, say, Kevin said he's going to do this and there's no extra proof of it other than them saying it, and then they show up and take all your guns away. I got a problem with that. But people need to, like, was it after 9/11? If you see something, say something. It's like, if you see somebody not acting right or saying crazy shit, and a lot of these parents have kind of known that this stuff's been going on too. You need to stop ignoring it and actually get people help, because they all seem to have, like, the same fucked up background, and there are plenty of signs on why it happened. So
yeah, it's a shitty home life, and usually it's a shitty home life. It's usually a main
generally
contributor.
a broken family a lot of the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Yeah, no strong male role model in their life, or if there is, he's a fucked up dude anyway. So,
well, and sometimes, like, these people that grow up to be assholes, or even not necessarily mass murderers, but killers or whatever, they had a nuclear family, but, like, the kids were kind of ignored. Like, I saw, he wasn't necessarily a murderer. He's some rich punk that, no, he was a murderer. He killed a bunch of people because he got drunk as shit while driving his truck, and, like, just plowed over, like, I think he, like, ran over a girl and, like, hit her car. But the kid, like, had no, like, the parents had money. They were always out doing something. They let him do whatever the hell he wanted. So it's not just having two parents, but you have to have a cohesive family and parents that are interested in, you becoming a productive human being. But I think that's a big part. Will more gun control stop these shootings?
no. Why would it? I mean, what law is there that's going to stop somebody from being a killer? I mean, you think like they're like, I was going to go into this school zone, but it's, no guns allowed, so no killing today. If murder isn't, like, a worry of yours, I don't think any kind of law put on books is going to stop you. I don't even think if you're intent on making a name for yourself and killing people, even if you don't have a gun, you're going to find a way. Like, if you're that disturbed that you're going to kill a bunch of kids, you're going to find a way to kill a bunch of kids. Let it be a homemade bomb, or arrows, or fucking knives, or whatever. I mean, it's not going to matter. I mean, banning certain rifles is not going to stop somebody from buying 2 handguns, or if the police want to take 40 fucking minutes to get inside, you can do whatever the fuck you want with as many fucking magazines as you need. I mean, let's be real. It doesn't matter.
Well, but like we
no.
saw at the beginning of the show, and Biden, this isn't the first time Biden. Now, granted, what he said about the 9mm is just stupid.
Yeah, I
Oh, and
feel
by the
sorry
way,
for
at this
you guys
point,
for watching that because it made me dumber. Like it's ruined my whole beginning of the show because I feel like my brain went into like stupid mode. Like I put my stupid cap on, I can't take it off. It's there, So, you know,
that always makes for a better show, Kevin.
yeah, I pulled a trigger on myself. You know, stuff like that. That's what I said. I'm an idiot. Yeah.
I shot myself with a dummy gun, but that's not the first time that he's brought up like trying to ban 9mm before. Arguably the most popular cartridge in the world, most definitely United States, but in like one of the most popular handgun cartridges in the world. But like I don't understand. Like the big push is they're trying to push this law through, and there's got to be something else to it. I haven't read it, but the big thing is we need universal background checks. I mean, do the people calling for background checks realize that anytime you buy a firearm from an FFL, this doesn't, and maybe the new law has to do with private party. I'm still not exactly sure how you enforce that. But if you buy a gun, it doesn't matter if it's at a store, which would be an FFL, or a gun store or a gun show, if you're buying it from an FFL, because I've bought a couple of guns at gun shows, and you still have to fill out the background check and wait for that to come back before you can buy a weapon. The only time you can buy a weapon without a background check is if you do person to person, private party.
When I won a shotgun at I think it was a hunting, I think it was Ducks Unlimited. I think I won it at. I won a shotgun. I had to put my name and everything. I didn't just take the gun immediately. They had to do my background check before I could get the shotgun. They had to make sure.
You got your ticket? So, here's your gun.
Yeah, they don't do that because they got to make sure you're not a felon before they just hand you a gun. So person to person, I don't know. Maybe that's it, but I mean, and what I heard they were talking about for person to person was like you're supposed to go to an FFL dealer before you sign off so they can do the background check. Then the person can give you the gun or whatever. But
well, what's going to happen
is
who the
fuck's going to do that?
I mean, it's not a bad idea if you have a firearm that you bought from an FFL. Now, granted, from what we know, the federal government does not have a gun registry yet. Even though if you buy a gun from an FFL and they go out of business, they're supposed to send all the records to the ATF. And that record has when you bought it, what you bought, and then has all your personal information on it. But the only time that would be a good idea to do that on your own through your own due diligence is then you have paperwork showing that a gun that has been, if they track down like through the serial number where it was bought from, like they're checking gun stores and they find out that a gun that you once owned, like the serial number came back at a murder and you sold it a couple years ago, if you go to an FFL and do a transfer, they'll probably charge you $25 to do the transfer. But then you're clear. That would be the biggest benefit to it. But the only way to actually enforce private party, sales going through an FFL is if you had a gun registry, because technically they don't know what guns you own. Technically.
And I think that's what they're going to try to push for is a gun registry, which I am totally against because I don't want the government knowing exactly how many guns I have.
Yep. And the whole...
I don't know how many guns they have in total.
They have a lot. Well, they have a lot less now because they gave away $83 billion worth of them in Afghanistan.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're just going to give away fucking guns to Afghanistan, but I have to fucking do all this bullshit. That's what you want me to do? But you're just going to leave it to the Taliban? Really? You're just going to give them Apaches and shit? Whatever. Fucking government's stupid.
Well, at the end of that video, him saying that the Second Amendment isn't absolute, he actually followed on to say you couldn't buy cannons back then. We've already discussed this. That's bullshit. Yes, you could. There wasn't anything really... Yeah, there wasn't anything the military had that a civilian couldn't buy when the Second Amendment was made.
They just didn't have the money to buy it.
Yeah, that's what it
That
was.
was it. That was the only restriction. Was you don't like? I can't afford an F-16. So
I know.
I mean, I
It's
don't
because
know.
it's not a free market, Kevin. It's not a free market.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure even if I could, I don't know how to fly, and I'm kind of afraid of I'm kind of afraid of
Just let
flying.
it
So
sit in my
not like
driveway.
yeah, but I mean, I could just drive it down the road. I guess shoot very slowly.
Do you have any idea how much it would cost just to fire the engines up in that thing?
Oh, I know. I'm pretty sure it's not roadworthy or road legal either. Like, I don't think a tank's road legal. It's got to be some kind of
It
weight
can be.
restriction
All
on
you got to
it.
do is add blinkers.
Well, I mean the weight. I mean, I'm sure there's weight limits in residential neighborhoods and shit.
Yeah, but you'd have to have a big ass tank to go over weight limit. I mean, semis can drive on it. I don't think they're over 80 tons. Maybe. I don't know. I don't own one.
I don't. Yeah, I know. But I want to. I'd love to own a tank. They seem awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Like-
get some. You got to go to Harbor Freight and get those tow blinkers, slap it on the back. You're good.
There you go. I can own a tank. Like it seems
Strap a
pretty
couple
awesome.
flashlights to the front for headlights, and can't be any different driving a Bobcat.
Like I watched that movie Fury. That seemed like pretty cool. Like you can just hang out inside and blow shit up.
Yeah.
So
All right. Back on topic. What do you think are good ideas on hardening schools? Obviously, I don't care what the left does. If they get their, they already discussed that the bullshit that they're pushing, trying to use these tragedies, and I'm getting real sick and tired. Like we can't wait for blah 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 or rational thinking. We need to.
There's an easy way of
stand on
doing
the
this.
corpses.
there's an easy way of one, take away gun-free zone from being in a school. I mean, nobody who is going to do anything at a school with a gun, like maliciously, I mean, they're not going to follow the fucking sign anyways. So take that away. So that way teachers can be armed if need be, if they have their seal and carry or whatever law is in the state. Then administrators, whatever, somebody in that school can have a gun. Also, how about having an armed security guard and limiting one point of entry for schools? Obviously you don't lock kids in, but I'm pretty sure those push doors are built that way so they can lock from the outside, but you can push them open.
That was actually a weird
don't
thing that
block
got brought
them
up
open.
about the one in Texas wasn't blocked open. They just found out that the teacher had wedged the door open when she went out to see what the commotion was. And then when she either heard he's got a gun or he saw that he had a gun, she went back inside. And there's video of the door closing. For whatever reason, it didn't relock. And they're investigating that, even though now the police department isn't helping with the Texas Department of Safety on how this happened. But yeah, I don't understand why they can't.
They know they fucked up.
Well, yeah, that was at least for not cops in general, but the cops down there. That shit's sad.
Yeah,
not like sad boo-hoo, like you're a bunch of sad assholes.
Yeah, when you're too afraid to put yourself in danger for a bunch of kids, you're a piece of shit. Like one cop should have just ran in. It took a guy, a freaking Border Patrol agent, to get a shotgun from a barber to go in and kill the dude.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like I get
in there or 10 cops.
Well, there was 19 of them there, but I get that, like, that's scary. Like, am I saying, like, if I heard, I would like to think I would, but I don't know what I would do in that situation, but I'm not a cop. That's the difference.
I'm not trained in that. I didn't take that job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you didn't just take that job. You didn't just take mass shooting training 8 weeks before this happened either. Oh, wait, they did.
That's even the worst part, That's the worst part is they just went through this.
I don't know. I think it's
because I think after the Parkland shootings, because I think that was something where it was like not law, but it was like taught to hold the line and wait for SWAT. That was what but then after Parkland, I think it was pushed to like just go in and do your job.
Yeah, the training is engage the shooter.
Yeah.
And there is no hostage. From my understanding, it's like if the shooter's in the building, it's still an active shooting scene. Like you go in and you engage the actual shooter. You don't like
Yeah, because it's not a hostage situation because they're there to kill people.
Yeah,
That's
like,
why they didn't go in there. Yeah, they didn't commit a robbery, then hold hostages to get away. They went to the school to kill people, so you just go in and kill them, or get shot in line of duty, whatever. That's your job.
Well, and here's my problem with the whole thing. I agree with your idea. You have one entryway into the school, metal detectors, all that stuff. It sucks you got to have it, but we live in the day and age where crazy, stupid assholes will go and kill kids. And if you think getting rid of the guns are going to work, they're not. The largest school massacre was in the 1920s, where over 40 people died, mostly children, and it was done using a homemade bomb. So if an asshole wants to create carnage and wants to kill people, they're going to find a way to do it. Going after the guns is nothing more than disarming people that need it for protection, because bad people are always going to do bad things. That's human history. But instead of sending all this money over to Ukraine, and I guess now we're getting warnings from the Kremlin because we're sending them over more advanced missile systems. Why don't they spend the money on it? Because you can get, like, those doors that have the magnetic locks, and you ain't ripping those doors. Unless you're jacked, you're not ripping that door open. But to where you can't open the door from the outside, period. But if there's an emergency, you hit that handle, disengages the magnetic lock, and you're out. But the only place you can get into the building is the front, where there's, a DPS officer, whatever they're called. And they should have a long gun readily accessible to authorized people at the front. It sucks. It's sad that we had to have this conversation. But instead of, making everything political right off the bat, how about we just come up with solutions to fix the issue and protect the kids in this country, so they don't have to go through this shit, instead of just going. I wouldn't even say gun control is like it's it's a it's not a rational standpoint, like, other than, like, yeah, it's sad and bullshit that it happened, and this person's a straight up asshole, and all these people that do this are assholes. But, like, people just skip over the whole human being. It's like, that damn gun. Like, there's people saying that they should sue Daniel Defense because this kid used one of their guns. And how in the hell does an 18-year-old that works at Wendy's, who lives with grandma, get that's a $2,000 AR-15? I wish I had that one just because it's fancy. Be like, hey guys, look, this is my Daniel Defense. I never use it because it's pretty and I don't want it to get dirty. Like, how the hell does it, like, in the 1,000 rounds of ammo? Like, there's gonna be some shit coming out because that's weird. Like, I guess if he was saving
I'm not
up
doing
for a
any
long
fucking conspiracy theory shit, but this shit's way too fucking weird. Like, I don't know.
Unless you turned 18 and somebody gave him a credit card with a $5,000 credit limit. I mean,
maybe that's what happened, Then sue fucking Capital
because that
One
is like,
or fucking Bank of America.
Yeah, I mean, if that's how he bought them, maybe we should sue the credit card companies.
You can't sue a gun manufacturer for somebody fucking maliciously using a gun. That's like suing Toyota for somebody fucking running into a crowd of people, or
any drug driver.
Any drug driver. You can't sue Budweiser.
Sue Budweiser, for which I think
the thousands of people
they've tried.
You can't sell Budweiser. Yeah, you can't sue Budweiser for the 1,000 people who die from fucking, drunk driving accidents or whoever. I mean,
yeah, the fact that we don't hold individuals responsible for their actions in this country is stupid. That's why, like you said, getting rid of gun-free zones. 94+% of all mass shootings happen in gun-free zones because, for one thing, you're forgetting we need more gun laws, blah, blah, blah. You're forgetting the one obvious major law that every mass shooter has in common. It's against the law to murder people.
What? So, no, it's not. Not if you don't like them.
I'm just saying. No one seems to bring that up.
Am I wrong on this? Am I wrong on this? That you don't like somebody, so you can't murder them?
Apparently. A lot of people thought that was an obvious law, but all these shooters don't seem to know that or don't care. It's like if they don't give a shit about taking someone's life, which is the kind of crime that you commit that you get the chair for, or I guess the needle now that they wipe your arm with alcohol, because they wouldn't want you to get an infection between the time.
Yeah,
they
why
stick
do
you
they
in the
wipe
arm.
your arm with alcohol? Because what
That's
happens
got to
if it
be
doesn't,
like just like a thing that you're
if it
like they're
doesn't
just used to
take?
doing because I don't know.
Like this case,
I don't know.
like he survived the death penalty, but then he died of an infection. Like you're still doing the same thing. Is it like a numbing
I feel
agent?
like they
Maybe
should,
because you don't want them. I don't know.
No. I mean, I'm pretty sure the lethal injection is they basically make you OD on anesthesia. Not 100% sure, but I think that's how it goes. But that doesn't make any. They need to bring back old Sparky.
Yeah, hell yeah, Sparky. I think the guillotine's too good for him. I think
It's too fast.
Yeah, so I'd like Sparky. Maybe a fire. Burn him at a stake.
Yeah, but here it is. If you commit a school shooting, you get the William Wallace treatment.
Yes. See, I think that would stop people from doing it because no one, obviously they probably want to kill themselves because what they are is they're pieces of shit and also cowards most of the time. So, yeah, again.
Yeah, I can't believe that one guy in New York actually, I mean, yeah, I guess he was a coward and gave himself up, but I'd be like, oh, he stopped shooting? Oh, that's my bad. That's my bad. I guess I just saved the taxpayers some money not having to take him to court. But they
yeah, like shoot that motherfucker up. Fuck him.
Yeah, like if you're committing a mass murder, you shouldn't be able to
listen.
Just saying.
I feel like if you're killing anybody other than in self-defense, and even then, I mean, you're gonna feel fucking shitty. If you're a normal person, like killing's killing, and you don't really want to take anybody's life, but I don't know. I think it's just why do we, just fast track the trial, put them in the fucking death row, fucking drown them. I don't know, throw rocks, whatever. Let's stone people. And I'm good with stoning them to death.
Are those
that's
felonies?
A public? Then the public is to what? What
is like mass shooting? Is that a felony, like a federal crime, or does it still fall under state? Because the problem is if you're
I think if it's at a public school, then it's
that'd be state.
Well, I think if it's at a public school, then that's I don't know. I guess that's state, right? That's state funded or federally funded?
It's a little bit of both, but I think majority state. I just think there should always be death penalty on the line for mass shooters. It should be a real jacked up way of doing it. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the Chinese bamboo torture shit.
Something fucked up. Fuck these people.
I'm just saying.
It is pissing me off because I'm a gun owner. I'm a gun lover. Not like literal. That'd be weird. But I love guns. I love shooting shit. I love target shooting and stuff like that, and I like shooting fucking clay pigeons and shit. So they're really fucking everything up for me because these gun control people are gonna ruin my fucking last 20 years of life if I live that long. 10, 5, whatever. They're going to try to ruin it.
Set that bar to the sky, buddy.
Whatever. I just keep going down. Whatever. Might be tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah,
no one knows.
Well, you never do know. That's why you shouldn't go through life as an asshole.
I don't mind being an asshole sometimes. Sometimes that's the fun in life. I mean. Yeah, I know. Sometimes being an asshole is kind of fun,
Well, no, there's a difference between being a cheeky asshole and then just like an asshole.
You don't want to be a dick because dicks fuck assholes and pussies. Is that Team America? You never seen that?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in forever.
Someone I
need to watch it if you're going to keep quoting the movie.
I can't help it. It's just like certain parts, like, yeah. You don't ever want to be you want to be a dick because dicks fuck assholes. They also fuck pussies. So
was that the guy's comeback to it?
No, something like that. It was. I can't remember.
You're getting a little vulgar, Kevin.
Sorry, but I'm just quoting a movie, so don't take my word for it.
You're a horrible person.
I am not.
Oh, Kevin. Is the gun control people's ultimate goal
Of
to
course
ban
it is.
guns outright?
Yes. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, like they can say whatever the fuck they want. The rabbit hole always leads to, well, we've done all of this and we're still having
You think if
problems,
you-
so we're
See,
just gonna
this
have
is-
to take your guns.
If the fucking Republicans ever cave into this bullshit, sorry, I'm cussing a little more than usual because I'm fired up. If the Republicans ever cave into this, I'm done being a Republican. I will, whatever, create my own party. So I don't know. It's just because if you give an inch, you give a mile. You're going okay. All of a sudden, AR-15s are suddenly banned for some effing reason. Then all of a sudden it's going to be like, well, then they used the handgun, so now we got to ban handguns with more than 6 bullets. So now you got to all of a sudden somebody used a handgun with a 6-shooter. Now you got it's going to be a goalpost moving thing to where they're never going to stop until we're Canada, because Canada you can't even buy a handgun anymore. They outlawed all of it. You can't even own one. You can't not
he
only
used
buy
the
one.
shooting.
They're doing this shooting, and they're doing a mandatory buyback. So it's not like just
Are they doing the buyback?
Like,
I thought they put a cap, like no more can be sold.
No, they're doing a mandatory buyback.
Traded.
I'm pretty sure they're doing a mandatory
that's what
buyback.
happens when
not like a choice. You have to, and they're just going to stipend you for your handgun.
Which is funny because you didn't buy your handgun from the military or for the government. So
I
it's
know.
not a buyback. They're just giving you some money for stealing away your protection.
Yeah. You think in Canada...
Which is another thing we learned. Well, Canada's ran by a hardcore, weak, pathetic beta male who is surrounded by people with guns.
Oh, that dude's a fucking
he's on a
dildo
little power trip.
with legs and arms.
I can't stand that guy. He's such a piece of shit. And like he used COVID. Like he was not.
He's a wannabe. He's a wannabe dictator. And
yeah, he wants to be like his dad.
Yeah, Fidel.
Yep.
Yeah. He's
because apparently his mom had some infidelities with Fidel.
Yeah, he wants to be a little commie. So I don't know how Canada
like using like
getting
I
don't know how Canada's governmental system works. So they have like 8 parties, and then he only gets like 19% of the votes, but somehow that's enough. So like 19%.
Well, that's why we don't want a parliamentary system.
No, and I'm glad we don't. But a 2-party system seems like it's also not the greatest system. But I don't know what is. I mean, I guess we can do some show on what government would be ideal, but I just don't know what that would be right now. I think we're as close as you can get.
I mean, the 2-party system works. The problem is like the Democrats have been taken over by the craziest batshit piece of shit people in the country. And like that now represents the Democrat Party. You know, and I don't even care anymore. If you voted for Biden, F you. Because you can say you didn't see all this stuff coming. Anyone paying attention, that dude is doing everything that he said he was going to do. Now, he talked out of both sides of his mouth. But like the Democrat Party has left the Democratic platform of Democrats of old. So if you still support the Democrats, you're an idiot. If you voted for Biden in the first place, you're an idiot. I don't care how you felt about Trump. You're using emotions to decide your vote instead of your brain. And now we're all effed, to where your gas prices.
You can say it. I've said it like you can go ahead and say it. I've said it like 8 times, so you don't have to be the non-vulgar one.
I know. I still cuss every now and again too. I don't know if they count how many cuss words you do to make it explicit. But it's true. It's like I'm just tired of like we're suffering through all this stuff, and then they're like saying, "Oh, it's the Putin price tag." No, it's not. Our gas prices has nothing to do with Putin. You don't go from energy and you don't go from being energy independent to energy dependent and begging people for more oil in a year unless you did it on purpose. Like this is all like all this shit. Like let's do the exact opposite things that we need to do to not totally and utterly screw over the middle class of the United States. And then like that's what they're doing. People are leaving.
But hey, no.
It's a shit show.
Hey.
Go ahead.
They're the party for the people. You know, just because they fuck over everybody that's not wealthy, they're the party for the people.
That is true. I mean, they say that.
Well, I mean, that's what they say.
All right, Kevin. So, well, they do say that. They used to be the blue collar party. How the hell do unions still support Democrats?
Because they get the government contracts. Government contracts. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how a union member would vote for a Democrat.
I know, like, I don't either. I don't understand it, but they do. So it's probably just, I don't know, money somehow. It's always about money, obviously. So I don't know. Like,
all right, Kevin, I want to ask you something. It's been thrown around a lot, okay? And I want your definition, okay, of an assault and or weapon of war. Go. I'll wait.
Can you play the
No, he's looking ahead with another copyright claim. Oh no, I got one for my review though. Yeah.
Can you do a TikTok thing or like a clock sound? I guess
I can do a thing
because
I'll figure something out.
Assault weapon. I'm guessing it'd be a weapon that you assault someone with. So it could be anything from a stick to a gun.
I don't know why, but anytime I think of the whole assault weapon thing, by the way, FBI statistic, more people are killed with fists and knives than by rifles every year in the United States. But for some reason, when they say assault weapon, it's a bullshit term. Same with weapons of war. They're just like, they try to attach it to the AR-15 because it's the most popular weapon in the United States. Yes, there was a ban for a while, and they did say that shootings went down. And like Biden's like, when it went down. Well, what he left out is the numbers kept going down after the ban was lifted, and millions upon millions of them were sold. By the way, there's a better chance of a police officer committing a crime than a licensed to carry individual.
That's want to let you know
that's a true statistic.
Columbine happened during the assault weapons ban. So,
yeah, I mean, it's just like they say something and it's like, oh look, it went down, but they didn't say as it kept going down after the ban was up. So I think that's a bullshit thing, and I don't know why, but every time they say assault weapon, I'm like, anything's assault weapon. My mind automatically goes to those giant wooden spoon and forks that people used to hang on the wall.
Did your parents?
Because I used to get a whooping.
Yeah, you got assaulted by your parents.
I mean, it's a traumatic.
It is.
Thing.
That's why I don't know, a weapon of war. I don't know, a missile.
I would say a weapon of war could possibly be considered fully automatic, like a rocket launcher or some shit. But it doesn't matter. Because of what the Second Amendment was made for, we should be able to have
those. I think we should have anything that we want short of a nuke. I don't think anybody should have a nuke.
No. I mean, we've already.
I don't see how you
can.
Well, maybe like, do you want Dave from fucking, Cedar, Kansas, having a nuke in his yard? Hey, I never know.
Kind of found out
it's a deterrent for the government not to fuck with us.
That's just it, though. The only thing, like, we know that nukes are devastating. They're horrible for the planet, living beings on the planet. They're not a practical weapon because of the amount of fallout.
I technically don't think we should
get rid of the fallout.
I don't think anybody should have nukes, period. Like, I think there should be.
No, if you if somebody actually uses a nuke, what we know now in today's day and age, they're a fucking idiot. The only reason we have them is because if you use them, we're going to use them, and then we're going to go
They're a
ahead and hit the
deterrent.
great
They're
filter,
technically
Kevin. The great filter.
They're technically just a deterrent, is what they are. So, and you should be afraid
mutually
of
assured destruction.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think at some point in the future, a nuke will go off. I don't think it's going to be from a country. I think it'll be like a dirty bomb type of thing. Not really a nuke, maybe a small yield type of backpack type of thing. I don't know. It's going to be some terrorist
speaking
country.
of nuclear stuff, have you seen Top Gun Maverick yet?
I have not. Have you?
Yes, it's fucking amazing.
Is it? Because is there a nuke in it?
I am not a fan of Tom Cruise as a human being. Not that he's a bad guy. He's just really weird. He's into Scientology.
I don't.
And he
Yeah,
dances on a couch like a little kid.
Like that whole Scientology
man, that
shit.
movie
I mean,
is...
we could do an episode about Scientology. I just gotta, because we can go through, like, if you want to watch like the South Park episode about Scientology, it's pretty accurate. And like, I think they did like a 3 or 4 episode arc of it. But I mean, that shit is, they got everything from the book, so it is all.
It's funny. We're gonna do a Scientology episode, and our reference is going to be South Park.
Well, they got everything from their book. Like they did it all. Like they did their research. Like, I mean, that's not going to be my research. I mean, I'll actually look into it, but I mean, their shit is crazy. Like even like you think, like, if you're non-religious and you think like Christianity is crazy because people believe there's omnipotent being, that judges you after you die. Scientology is way weirder. Way weirder. Like there's some like super monster Xenu, or I don't know what the hell it is. It's wild,
they made a movie about it.
It is wild. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Did you know that
Earth or Battleship Earth? Yeah, John Travolta.
The one with John Travolta. That's about Scientology.
Yeah. I don't know. Do they not allow gay people in Scientology? Because there's like a lot of closet gays in Scientology.
I don't know.
I think.
Maybe.
Like, does Lord Xenu
But that stuff aside, that movie was awesome. Awesome.
Battlefield Earth?
Battlestar Earth. Not Battlefield Earth. Top Gun, Maverick. I'm probably going to see it again in the movie theater. That's how good it is. It is a great.
I don't usually go to the theater alone, but I might. I was looking forward to that one.
It's worth going.
Like everybody I know has like,
but
a life.
But there's a nuclear aspect to it. That's why I brought it up. But it's fantastic, Kevin. It's fantastic.
When did you find time to watch it?
2 thumbs up.
All fucking weekend. Weren't you gone all weekend and shit doing stuff? And you still found time to watch?
We were down in San Antonio visiting family on Sarah's side, and we all went to a movie.
Yeah, you went to
and it was wonderful.
Cool. That's awesome.
Huh. I loved it. Fantastic. They had the moving chairs.
I'm gonna watch it.
I didn't feel like. No,
I can't do that moving chair shit.
Well, and I don't think we.
I like the reclining chairs. They got reclining chairs in the theater here.
Yes.
Like big comfy.
Yeah, they have them here too. I was a little upset though. I was like, the reason why I didn't get the motion chairs is because they didn't have recliners, and then we get to the movie and none of them had them. So I was like, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Like, why didn't you let me know beforehand? I get it.
It's like, this is a non-reclining movie theater. That's how spoiled we are when it comes to movies now. There's no recliner. I'm out of here.
This is bullshit. Like, do they sell beer?
They do here.
Yeah, they do here too.
At ours in Amarillo.
Yeah, they sell ours here.
Okay, so old turkey neck Michael Moore. Which good for him. He looks that way because he's lost a bunch of weight. He had brought up that we need to get rid of the Second Amendment. Like, they're actually starting to say the stupid ass shit out loud. What happens if they actually took that away? Do you think stuff would get bad pretty quick?
I think maybe not immediately, but I think within 10 years you're going to see your government control your life, and America's going to be a hellscape of, well, hell. I mean, it's just, you think inflation's bad now, you think all this shit's bad now. Just think if you don't have anything to back up the rest of your, constitutional rights. You don't have your free speech right. You don't have your right to religion. You don't have your right to, talk shit about the government. You don't have your right for freedom of press whenever. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do a podcast without being censored. I mean, technically, we might not anyways, except for if you go to Rumble, or as of right now, we are on YouTube, Rumble. We are also on all major podcasts, so remember to subscribe and like and comment. But no, you wouldn't have any of this shit because there's nothing to back up. Because almost every constitutional amendment or in the Bill of Rights is backed by the Second Amendment. It's the most important amendment because, there's consequences. There could be consequences for the government to overreach. But if you take away your country's, if you take away your guns, the government's going to do whatever the fuck it wants because it can take whatever it wants away. Because that's the hardest one to take away.
I think if they actually got enough people together to repeal the Second Amendment, I think we would be in a civil war shortly after. I don't think we would get to the point where all the guns are given up.
No, it won't be. Because
there's just no way in hell.
There's
be a
no
lot of
way
people
that
dying.
I can tell you what. There's not going to be a way that red states will ever abide by it. Maybe like shitty red states, like Ohio,
no, and I think,
I don't even know if a lot of blue states would, because a lot of blue states are only governed by their big cities. Your New York cities, your LAs, your Chicagos, but.
You mean like the places where you can't own a gun, yet they have tons of gun violence? Those places?
Yeah, so those places. But most like Chicago, like Illinois, is mostly rural, for the most part. I mean, it's got some bigger cities like Springfield and Rockford and Peoria, but I mean, those are cities in less than 1 million people. So, but for the most part, this country is like the land mass of it. Like, I would guess 90% of it is rural. It's spread out. It's small towns. It's medium-sized towns. So you think those people won't give up their guns?
That's why I said there'd be a lot of people dying.
I dare you. I fucking dare you. And you know who your military is usually fucking, you know who joins the military? Patriotic people from small towns and, rural areas, and dare I say it, gun lovers or gun.
There's nothing wrong with loving guns. They're a tool. They're
joined it to protect your rights.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with loving guns. They're a tool. They're fun to shoot. I mean, that's what I don't get about when he was talking about.
Could it be like?
But no, when Byron was talking about a 22. For one thing, if you get shot with a 22. Those things ricochet off bone and move around your body.
Well, technically, a 223 is, like you told me, 223 is basically a 22 shell. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, muzzle velocity is different, but
people that don't know anything about guns don't know.
So it has nothing to do with the caliber, really. But
here's the thing, though: the reason why 9mm is, well, there's a couple reasons why it's the most popular defense round in the country.
Can you play the Biden song after this?
Yeah. I will. We'll probably get hit for something.
The blast the shotgun.
Yeah, I'll put that on there.
The blast of shotguns.
We'll probably get hit with something.
Can you please? Because this is the same idiot that said you should just blindly blast shotguns out your window or through your door.
No, you're off the front porch, which still doesn't matter. It's illegal.
I have 2 shotguns at my home. They're locked in a safe. There's a metal gun case. We live in an area that's wooded, somewhat secluded. And I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun.
You don't need a machine gun. You don't need 30 rounds.
Buy a shotgun. Buy a double barrel
shotgun.
No, you don't need a flamethrower, and you don't need a tank. You don't need an AR-15 to scare those thugs away. No, and I don't need a grenade launcher. I don't need an F-15. There's just one thing I need to do, and they'll stay away from me.
Fire 2 blasts outside the house.
Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun.
Buy a shotgun.
Yeah, buy a shotgun, baby.
You don't need a machine
You
gun.
don't need a machine
You don't
gun.
need 30
Way
rounds.
too many
Buy
rounds.
shotguns.
Buy a double barrel
Shotgun. Fire 2 blasts outside the house.
Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun.
You don't need a machine gun. You don't need 30 rounds.
Buy a shotgun. Buy a double barrel
Shotgun.
But if you
Yeah.
take any type of, most people have concealed carry, also go to the range, they take training, less likely to commit a crime than a cop, but whatever. If you're having to draw a weapon to defend your life, you don't want a 22. You need a caliber that's going to stop the threat. If that means that that person ends up dying, then that's what it is. But like, if you have like someone on drugs coming at you, they're not even going to feel a 22. I mean, hell, a 380, I'm not even sure about that, but that's the whole point of that. Like, your point is to stop the threat. You don't stop engaging until the threat is stopped. That's just how it is. And like, if they got rid of the Second Amendment, they try to get rid of all the guns, they would have to go to people's houses, and that's where people are going to die, because people are like, no, I'm not giving it up. And what's going to happen is it's probably going to be like a little Waco thing where the federal government comes in and shoots a bunch of citizens, because apparently we had a total breakdown of the government and they took away all of our rights. But yeah, I think it'd be a total it'd be like Mad Max crazy shithole if they actually
It would be.
tried
It
to
would
enforce that.
It would be the downfall of America, I think.
It would, because like that really does like
Do you?
what? Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, go ahead. I just wanted to see if you wanted to talk about these gun stats before we.
Yeah, I figured I'd rattle them off
Right.
real quick. Just some gun stats from the 2020 from the FBI gun stats. There's around 13,620 gun deaths in 2020. 59% were from handguns. Around 3% were from long guns. All long guns, shotguns, rifles, the dreaded AR-15 was only accounted for 3%. That's all those combined. Now those were violent crimes that had to do with guns. Okay. 1.6 million is probably the most, that's the number they posted. They say it could be as high as 2 to 3 million incidents where guns were used by firearm owners for means of self-defense. So there are like way just way astronomical more uses of handguns in the line of
Well, I
self-defense.
mean that's 1.67 incidents that could have changed. You know.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
could have been 1.67 million.
and there's stories all the time. If you pay attention,
No.
they're all the time. Like happening all the time. A good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. And what happened in Texas, Uvalde shows that you cannot, like when they say you don't need guns, you just call the police. Well, shit, all of 2020 was, it's like they forgot. All of 2020 was the best example of why everybody should own a gun, because the police aren't always going to be there, or aren't always going to be there, or be able to get there in time. Because when something happens, you have seconds to respond, and the best police stations, unless they're right next door, are going to take minutes at the best.
And that's why gun sales rose so high in 2020.
Yeah, and now they're talking about, we need to start doing this or stop taking away that. It's like, did you guys not remember 2020?
Crazily enough, Democrats they created a mass gun buying. So
yeah, which made buying guns and ammo super expensive. Just saying. Just some U.S. gun rankings. Per capita, U.S. is ranked 83rd in the world for violent crime and homicides. The U.S. is ranked 11th in mass shootings per 1 million people, behind Norway, Serbia, France, Macedonia, Albania, Slovakia, Switzerland, Finland, Belgium, and the Czech Republic. So all the shit that they're telling you is bullshit.
Hey, remember when, you know what's funny is a lot of those socialist countries like Switzerland and, Finland and, what was that first one? Norway. A lot of those places with their, those are all those socialist countries that, we strive to be like, remember?
Well, Democrats do.
These.
They're also the countries that say, stop saying we're socialists. We're not.
Yeah.
And they don't have to pay for their self-defense.
Like every other goddamn country.
No, stupid. I mean, the only awesome, badass country in this world is America.
Fuck yeah.
I'm just saying. Am I wrong?
I can't help it. No.
Yeah, I just think...
absolutely not.
That's what pisses me off, though, about all these... it's like they're talking about everything except for stuff that is going to fix the problem. Like, mass shootings actually also went up, not because of the internet, but also when we started getting rid of all these mental health institutions. Like, we just ignore the mental health crisis.
Something I wanted to say earlier.
Say, Kevin. Say it!
Okay, so that $40 billion we sent to Ukraine, right? For all our public schools in America, each school could have got $404,000 just for protection. I'm just saying. So, keep sending money over to Ukraine because it's fucking wasted. It's just going to get filtered back to your politicians, and that's how they're going to, make sure they put their commercials out.
Yeah, that's what a guy who actually monitors that stuff says. At least half of the money that they send overseas like that makes it, might make it. At least half of it gets siphoned off by companies, special interests, all that shit. It's all bullshit. It's like they know that America currently, under the Biden administration, is on a nosedive kamikaze trajectory into the ground. So everyone's trying to get as much money as they can before we crash and burn. And all these dipshits are out there saying, Biden's doing so good.
Well, what they're doing is they're giving it to companies like Lockheed Martin, stuff like that, and these gun companies who are actually, and this is why certain Republicans actually voted for sending it over to Ukraine, because it's not actually getting sent to Ukraine. It's getting sent to our manufacturers, who then really don't use it for anything except for then they send it back to the politicians as lobbyist money, or whatever they call it, some kind of money for their shit.
Dark money.
Now I'm drawing a blank.
I just
dark
said
money.
Whatever. Dark money.
So I mean, that's what it is. So half the money, like you said, half the money is just going to go right back to the people's pockets. So that's who we keep voting for. And
yeah, I'm a little disappointed with Ted Cruz. He did make some bullshit excuse on why he voted for it, and then Dan Crenshaw can go get fucked. I'm done with that dude.
Well, Texas gets $80 billion a year in just defense contracts, or defense money, DOD money. So
yeah, it's because the best shit's made Texas, baby.
Woo! All right, I ain't gonna lie, I got to pee, so let's get out of this. I drink a lot of beer.
Well, that's an inappropriate way to
let's wrap it up.
To end an episode.
Let's wrap it up.
If you agree, disagree, whatever with anything we said in this episode, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think. But until next week,
please.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this was The Lost Art of Common Sense. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Sense!
Common sense!
Common sense! Ended up, I'm peeing.